So, Antoine, how do you want us to see you?
See me as a black man who's trying to do my very best in the life that I'm given. Black man who loves my black woman, and I love my black children. Right. So they see that. So that's what I hope people see. They see the same Antoine no matter what they get. And it's a black man who cares, and a black man who loves his family, and will do nothing to break that.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of King Crush Thursday, the series where we highlight and uplift Black men, because frankly, not too many people are doing it. My name is Val Gay, and I am super excited about this brother today. Let's see. He is a keynote speaker. He's also a philanthropist, an author, an entrepreneur, and a podcast host. And the motto of his podcast is no life is lived in a straight line. And ain't that the truth? Please welcome Mr. Antoine Medley. Hi, Antoine.
Hey, Val, thank you so much for having me. So glad to be here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy that you are here, and your presence here and your contribution to this conversation is contributing to the repository of 6 questions that we are asking all these different brothers, hundreds of brothers with all these different answers, because we really want to open up the narrow and myopically viewed lens of Black men in our community, society writ large. And so, because ultimately, my goal is for a young king who may or may not have positive Black male role models to come to this repository, see the same 6 questions answered by hundreds of Black men, and hopefully find guidance there. And then for the rest of us who are neither male or even Black, for us to be able to come to this repository, also get our minds expanded. So hopefully you can live, and we all can live as the individuals that we are, as opposed to being, I don't know, grouped in with other groups. I don't know. But I mean, I do know, but and so I'm just really glad that you are here. And I am going to get started with the first question, which is, what does manhood mean to you?
Man, what does manhood mean to me? Manhood means, taking care of all of your responsibilities that are thrown at you in life, right? I think that's what a man is. A man takes care of everything that comes his way, right? Now, whether we do it alone or whether we lean on other people, we're going to give it our best effort to handle what comes in our lives. And I mean, that's what my dad taught me. My dad taught me, hey son, you're going to grow up to be a man one day. You're going to face a lot, and you've got to be able to handle it. And when you can't, ask for help. So I think that's a good definition of manhood.
That's awesome. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Antoine, who and or what is important to you?
Who and or what? I'd say first and foremost, my wife of almost 28 years, my 2 daughters who are 21 and 19. Those are the 2 most important things to me in my life. I still have my mom and my dad and 2 of my brothers. I'm the oldest of 4 boys, and I've lost one of my brothers, so I still have 2 brothers here. And I would say that core group right there are the most important people to me. Who and or what? What is giving back to the world. And I do that through a ton of philanthropy work that I do, and I've done over the last 25, 26 years or so. Um, you know, my family, giving back, and then just sharing anything that I have, with the world, whether it be a skill or not knowledge, or, even if it's sweat equity, it's, offering the world anything that I can. So those are the most important things to me. Being happy, a lot of brothers, I think Black men, we have issues being happy. We have issues finding joy. And I think as Black men, we need to do a better job of just being happy, man, and finding joy in our lives, because, there's enough stuff coming at us. And when we can find areas to enjoy life, let's do it. We can't be in that joyous bubble all the time because life won't let that happen. But when we can find it, we definitely need to find joy. So I say family, giving back and just finding joy and happiness in your life.
That's awesome. That is really awesome. Excellent. Thank you. So, Antoine, how do you want us to see you?
I want you to see me. I mean, see me as a Black man who's trying to do my very best in the life that I'm given. Right. Like you mentioned about my podcast, no life is lived in a straight line. I mean, I've yet to meet anybody where that is the case. And so, we've got to learn to bob and weave. And I hope when people see me, that they see a man who's doing all he can to bob and weave and deal with the things in life. But at the same time, my wife tells me this all the time, that I have pockets. I have a lot of pockets of friends. And she tells me, she says, well, Antoine, all of your friends, from what I know of them, they all see the same Antoine. You're not different here than over here. She's like, you are truly authentic. You are Antoine. Everybody gets the same Antoine. Nobody gets anything different. Now, my fraternity brothers don't get a different brother than another group of guys I hang out with. Everybody's going to get the same Antoine, no matter what. And that's a person who's willing to help, pitch in, and do whatever I can for anybody. And when those groups see me, they see a Black man who loves my Black woman, and I love my Black children. Right. So they see that. So that's what I hope people see. They see the same Antoine no matter what they get. And it's a Black man who cares, and a Black man who loves his family and will do nothing to break that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much. So, Antoine, question 4 is, what is your epic dream?
My epic dream, for a number of years, I've done a ton of philanthropic work. My dream would be to do that work full time, man. That would be awesome. And I've yet to be able to get there. But I'm striving. I'm striving to get there. My career that I have, I like what I do. But there's just nothing here, from what I do. But, being able to do philanthropic work 9 to 5, that would be a dream of mine, I would say career wise. I mean, and just being around to see my daughters grow old. Right. I mean, that I think that's a dream of every father to want to be around to see their young kids get older, become adults, have their own kids. Right. So, if I could, if I could live long enough to see a grandchild, I'll be blessed.
That is wonderful.
I'll be blessed.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been answering question 5 all along implicitly, but I'm going to ask you explicitly.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Antoine Medley, who are you?
I am one of my fraternity brothers called me a Renaissance man because there's just a lot of things that I do. And majority of the stuff that I do, I'm just self-taught, right? It's just like, I didn't know anything about starting a podcast, and, I reached out to a friend, and he was like, hey, you do this. And I'm a quick study, and I just go do stuff. So I'm a person who's not afraid to try stuff. But again, within the bounds of not being extreme or reckless, right? So, I'm a man who's willing to try stuff. Career. Like I reinvented my entire career. I mean, I went back to grad school and got my MBA. I plotted a plan to reinvent who I was in my career. I did that successfully, thank God. And I'm also a Black man who has MS. I have multiple sclerosis, and I take that on every day, and it's a challenge, but I don't let it stop me from doing any and everything that I want to do. I want to help people still. I want to do my philanthropic work. I want to do my work with my fraternity. I want to do this for my wife and my brothers and my kids and my mom and my dad. So, so just a man who takes the slings and arrows of life and bobs and weaves and just never lets it get me to a point where any kind of fear, things like that paralyze me. So, I hopefully I answered your question.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Thank you so much for that. And actually, your answer put into even better context your previous answer. So that was really great. Thank you. So here we are already at question 6, which is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't, or you wanted me to ask you that I didn't? In other words, what did I miss?
I can't think of anything that you missed. I mean, for me, being a Black man is, that's a, that I think Black men, I think we need to do more introspection of who we are and what we are. And I do that a lot. I do that a lot because I believe in iteration. I believe in improvement. I believe in self-improvement. So I'm always challenging myself, am I who I say I am? And when I got my MS diagnosis, that's how I took it. I took it as God saying, hey, Antoine, this is a test for you. I saw it as a test from him to say, am I who I say I am? Right. Because, when I got that diagnosis, I could have just took my ball and went home, but I didn't. I just keep doing what I'm doing. It's like, if I didn't tell anybody, people wouldn't know. Right. Because, I'm blessed to do well. But at the same time, with that wellness, I'm like, OK, I can't sit on this. I do while I can do, because I don't know. Right. A year from now or freaking tomorrow, or when I run back downstairs to have dinner with my wife, something could happen to me. And then I've wasted that time. I don't want to waste any time. See what I'm saying? I don't want to waste any time in my life because I lost my brother suddenly. And this is like, it just really, not that I didn't know we could lose people. Of course I knew that, but for it to be someone that close to me, that's the closest person I've ever lost in my life, my brother. And it just told me, it's like, hey man, you do what you can do while you can do it, because you just don't know. You're not promised the next minute. So, for me, it's just, I want to make sure that this comes across as this guy here. He's about life. He's about what he says he's about, and nobody will ever be able to come. No one will ever be able to say, well, no, that's not really who he is, because they can go ask a ton of people in different pockets of people that I know, and they're going to all say, nah, you're wrong. That's him, and that's important to me. Being truly authentic. That's very important to me.
I get that. I hear that. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I'm really grateful for your presence in this world, the Renaissance presence that you have, polymath presence that you have in this world, is really wonderful, especially when you see people, it's like, not waiting for permission to do something, right? Learning, being curious, ever curious keeps you young. I think being ever curious keeps your brain active, and
right.
And there's always so much more to learn. And so I'm so grateful for all the things, the hyphenated, skill set that you have is really wonderful. And I honor you, my king, and I pray that your epic dream comes true sooner rather than later. Because we need philanthropists like you in the game, and to really see the totality of our community. And so I'm so grateful that you were here today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Now, I do want to give you something that I'm doing here where I'm located in North Carolina. I launched it. I'm very intentional about my Blackness, right? I'm very intentional, right? So I launched something called Black Voices Now. So go check it out. You can find it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Black Voices Now. I'm launching my own version of TED Talk, but I'm having Black speakers. I'm very intentional because we don't have enough Black speakers out here that are being able to get on some certain stages. So I launched Black Voices Now, honoring my brother, and we're holding our first event here in North Carolina in November. And I've got 10 speakers that are going to be on stage that are going to give out some inspirational talks. So that's something that I'm doing right now. That it's not philanthropic work, but that may help me get away from my 9-to-5 to go to do what I want to do. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. That is really absolutely wonderful. And I hope that it becomes a regular event and that it blows up. People will be like, Ted, there used to be something called TED. Wait, what? You know, I hope that is the case. And that,
We'll see.
I wish you much success with it. And I just thank you. And stay right there because I want to thank the audience for joining us. I hope that you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. And if there's a positive and successful Black man in your life who you want to see highlighted in this forum or here in this forum, please click the link below or my bio, fill out the nomination form, and we'll take it from there. We have so many amazing Black men. I often say that success does not equal what one does for a living. We know, as Brother Antoine has just shown us, he doesn't necessarily define who you are, what you do for a living. I have two caveats. One, it's legal. Two, it's not hurting anybody. Outside of that, I don't really care what a brother does for a living. What I'm really interested in is the content of his character and the impact that he is making on his community, the society, the folks in his immediate sphere, his family, extending out to the rest of us. Those are the brothers that we also want to contribute to this repository. And so, and in fact, that's actually how we met Mr. Antoine. And so I do hope, and thank you to the person who had nominated him. Thank you. And I do hope that you who are watching will also think about the positive, successful Black men in your life and nominate them too. And so until then, in the meantime, please remember to stay tuned for yet another amazing King next week. And please remember to spread love and have a great day. Thank you so much. And Antoine, thank you so much. That was really awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.